everybody. Welcome to Illustrator Jones once again. Yeah, I'm sorry I've been away for a few weeks. The old doggy's been playing up a bit, kicking me in the bum. Giving me a good thrashing, it has. Anyway, feeling a little better. Well, yeah, what it was basically, I miss doing this. I miss talking to you guys and having your input and your feedback and you know, your nice supportive comments. Make me feel like I'm doing something that's worthwhile. Anyway, so I thought I'm going to have another go. I'm not going to give up on it. Sorry for all the drama. What a girl. Oh. Anyway, so this time I'm. I don't know if you heard the last video I did. It was all about space music. I did that many years ago, and was always a coward to put it out on YouTube. I didn't know what people. Some people thought it was all right, So quite a few hundred people have listened to it, so I'm pleased about that. So I kind of kept it to a space theme. Yes. This I watch a lot of programs about space and aliens and that kind of thing. And one theory is that the moon is hollow. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But it got my imagination going, and I thought, in 1969 when the Apollo mission, and they sent a spaceship to the moon. Wouldn't it be funny, if the other side of the moon was completely like cut in half, it was all false at the back, and all these aliens and things were living in it. That was the idea. So, or it comes apart like a door, But I wasn't too sure how to do that, so I just drew it kind of that you could see inside it and see all the the creatures and the various different types of alien life that are occupying the moon because it's hollow. So yeah, you'll see me draw little spaceships and rub some spaceships out, and what I came up with in the end, though, I was really pleased with. What's it? Not so much this moon thing, but the little spaceship and my astronaut, which is actually Seamus Gumshoe's father, Shugumo Gumshoe. He was. Nobody knows this, but he was on the mission to the moon, one of the first ones. In 1969, because in the stories you see, I think it's 1979 or 77, is it? It's when Star Wars gets 77, isn't it? That when Seamus Gumshoe goes in a space rocket to Steppington. So his dad was already an established astronaut. So, and that's where I've gone. Shugumo Gumshoe, his father, went into space in 1969 with Buzz Aldrin and Armstrong? Not Louis Armstrong, he plays the trumpet. I can't remember his first name. Anyway, it's something Armstrong. Yeah, so he was he was there as well, and top secret. Nobody knows about this. Only me and the American government, of course. But yeah, it is nice to do these again, because I don't know, it makes me feel good thinking that people are watching it and enjoying it and getting some ideas how to draw, and seeing the rubbish I come out with, thinking, well, I could do that, I could do better than that, no doubt. It's gone really cold outside. It's March the something. It's the March the 29th, and it's gone cold. The wind's really cold. About 2 weeks ago, I was out in the garden in a t-shirt thinking, I wonder if I should put my shorts on. I'm not too sure. Bit early for that, boy. A bit premature for shorts, that's for sure. You don't want to be doing that, otherwise your knees will get so cold they'll fall off. And where will you be then? You'll be needing them. Needing them. Tablets are kicked in. Anyway, yeah, so I'm drawing the moon. Now this, I wasn't happy with this totally. At first, I started doing it, and as I was going up, I was realising, oh, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work to do all these very fine detailed drawings. And I thought to myself, oh, do I really want to be doing this? You know, I wasn't feeling 100%. But anyway, I kept going, and then what I did was I left it for a couple of days. I thought I'd do something else. And then I came back to it, and I felt a little bit better then. I felt a bit more refreshed, and I carried on. Finished the penciling, and now obviously I'm on the inking. So, problem though. All the way through this is what scale to put the little people in it. You know, the aliens. They're not humans, they're aliens. And I kept on fighting with the scale. Either they're too small. Don't know if you saw her. She's dreaming. She always sleeps with her nose up her bum. Because we don't do that, innit? Bit whiffy down here. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was the scale of the human, or not the humans, the aliens or the figures. You know, the people. Because I then went, you know, and put little windows in, and they're quite small, and then you realise, well, if that was real, that, you know, these figures would be massive. So a bit of fiddling there. It was alright though. Wasn't going to worry about it too much. Just hope it gives you a bit of inspiration, you know, to draw your own daft drawings, and inspire to have a go at drawing, or to carry on drawing. Now, apologies for being away for a few weeks. I had to have a breather. My wife has hurt her back. She has got a cyst. It started with a cyst. Yeah, on her spine, and it's landed her in absolute agony. She'll kill me for that now. Yeah, so she's been in a right state the last couple of weeks. We had to spend twice. We went to A&E. It was 6 hours each time sitting there. Mind-numbingly boring. Second time I went, I sat there with my headphones on watching a movie on my phone. That was alright. It wasn't too bad. But there's people next to you going, or coughing, or going, I'm dying. It's my idea of absolute heck. That's my daughter's other version of the word hell. She says, oh, you're going to go to heck. Anyway, she is on crutches now, and she will be for the foreseeable future, which I'm not too sure how long. Anyway. Yeah, so inking it up now. This was a lot of work. I had to just look at it because it can get a bit overwhelming when you've got to put that much detail in. And just box by box, or row by row. Right, I'll do this little row first. Okay, finish that. And then if I want to stop, I'll stop. But then I'll go, oh no, I'll do a little bit more, you know, box by box. And just do it that way. Don't make yourself think, right, I've got to do the whole thing now. God, a lot of work. It was about 7 hours. The whole thing from beginning to finish was about 7 hours. Because I filmed it. What you see in half an hour, or less than half an hour, 7 hours work. I sometimes look at, you know, Bill making stuff, and Dan does. They were saying the other day, you know, he was saying, was it Bill making stuff was saying he's done this model, and a month's work, you know, 28 days to do this model. He's got a family, young family he has to look after as well, and everything. Well, it takes a lot of work though, and what you see in say half an hour, 40 minutes or so, it's madness. It is, but does he come out with some cracking stuff? And his brother, and Dan does as well. Go and give him a watch. Absolutely brilliant. Now there's somebody I want to tell you about, and I can't think who it is. What was that? I've forgotten. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen for you to go and have a look. It's a YouTuber, very, very good YouTuber. Can't think who it is now. There's so many I like. But yeah. So yeah, adding all these little buildings, little machines, little. I always think of that scene in The Matrix 2. Is it Matrix 2 when? Is it Morpheus and Neo is standing outside in the night time? It might not be them two, but and they're looking at and all these machines are going, and and they say, well, I don't know how they work, but they're still going. It's like that's what goes through my mind when I draw this kind of thing. Little machinery, you're trying to imagine little power stations and little electric stations, electricity motors and all sorts of things. So yeah, there you go. Planet Earth in the distance. Of course, you won't have heard of any of this, you see, because the American government kept this top secret. They will not tell you that behind the moon, or inside the moon, it is completely occupied by alien life. Well, where do you think they come and go? They don't travel billions of miles. They haven't, they haven't developed travelling by light, and I don't mean riding on a bull, an E24 LED bulb. I quite like that light travel. That might be an idea. Yeah, that's going to be the next video. Light travel. E24 bulb. Or could it be an E14? They're slightly smaller, aren't they? Adding the colour now. So what I wanted to do, the inside I want to do yellow and bright as if all the lights are on, and it's all lit up with artificial lighting. So that's a yellow, obviously, I was going to go for. So the opposite on the colour wheel is purple. So I used grey, purpley grey colours for the moon, so that you get a nice contrast between the two. But yeah, so I put about 3 different layers of yellow, which, to be perfectly honest, it didn't really add that much to it. I should have just gone straight to the blue for shadows, which I do later. If you notice, can you tell me what movie some of the bits are from? Near the top, if you see them. Yeah? Write in and tell me what you think they are that you've seen that from a movie. I stuck in, secret way to see if you'd notice. I've missed this. I've got to admit, I've missed doing this. It's good fun. It's good for your brain. Just talking to yourself. Getting your thoughts out there. But yeah, put in the blue in now, which, that's all the shadows and things. I think I use about 2 different types of blue, maybe. I can't remember. Now, at this point, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Am I going to do spaceships flying in with aliens driving them? Am I going to have Seamus Gumshoe or his dad, flying a spaceship or something like that? But I always try to make it into a little story if I can. And that's when I came up with 1969, when the Apollo mission went to the moon. And Buzz Aldrin. And it's not Louis Armstrong. I can't think of his name. Anyway. And there was somebody else as well, and I can't think of his name. Anyway. Because a lot of people think it was all fake, don't they? And some people think, they didn't go there, but I think they did. They say you can see the stuff still on the moon through a telescope, so. But yeah, so that's what I've done. So adding some Posca now for little white light bits on the windows, and glistening off metal parts, and not too much. Don't do too much. wanted the planet Earth to stand out a bit, and I also wanted that to, yeah. Oh, gosh, that was a jump. Right, this is the bit that's going on top now. So I wanted to do the Apollo module that goes down and lands on the moon, the landing module. Yeah, so I was kind of making it up as I went, and then I thought, nah, if you notice on the left-hand side behind my ugly mug there's my phone, and what I did, I got a little photograph up of the lunar module, and it doesn't look, it's nothing like, it is a little bit like it, but I just kind of went, all right then, so just generally did my own version, stuck bits and pieces on it, cameras all over it, and the rockets below it that you could see puffing out smoke. I don't know how it actually. Yeah, I think it did have rockets underneath it, didn't it? You have to take off again. There you go. I put a little rocket at the top there, but I'll take that off in a minute because that shouldn't be there at all. Little TV aerial. There you go. There's the rocket. I put them underneath, and little flags and United States things on it. Just wanted it to look something like the Apollo lunar module. I don't know how big it was. I've made this quite big because if you look at the little door that's right in the middle, you'll notice that it's quite small. So I don't know how big it was, to be perfectly honest. So I put two guys in there. Actually, I think it was only two guys that went down, wasn't it? The third one stayed up in the orbiting bit that carried this bit, the landing bit again, the one that went back to Earth. So here we go. I was drawing the spaceman now. Now I did base this on a photograph again on the phone, something like reminiscent of the spacesuits they wore. If you want to see somebody have, I tell you, Adam Savage, he's made the spacesuits himself. Oh, they're fantastic. Have a look at them on his YouTube channel. He's a little known fella from America, he's got hardly any followers, so go and give him a hand and subscribe to him. He's got millions of them. Yeah, so I thought it'd be funny that if I had just a piece of rope holding him, tethering him to the space module. Not that he would be outside the space module, because that was going to not the space module, the lunar module, because that's going to land on the moon. Why would he be out floating? But it's a lot more interesting a shape than the space module that was back up there. So like I said, I took a lot of liberties, but I had a lot of fun. That I tell you, get a photograph, work from a photograph. It really it makes you look, makes you study something, and take care more. I'll try and get that, to look something like it. Don't get too fussy over it, otherwise you get, oh, that's wrong, rubbing out all the time. Just doing something general. The legs I didn't pay much. I did pay a little bit of attention to, but I just sticks, basically all they were. Aye, the lunar landing module. Yeah, I think that bottom bit, that is the engine, isn't it? That's the bit they left behind on the moon. Do you know what? We've made mankind has made such a mess of the planet, right? And then they go up into space, and then I find out there's tons and tons of junk up there still floating around the Earth. Never mind that. They haven't just made a mess of the orbit of the planet. They've left all this carp all over the surface of the moon. I think the car's still there. You look at somebody's garden and you say, "Oh, look at that garden, all old cars in the back of the garden. That's terrible, isn't it?" But they've gone and left one on the moon as if they can't help it. They can't help themselves, can they? Leaving stuff everywhere. Mucky things. Messy things, honestly, humans. If anybody landed on there from another planet going, oh, what's all this mess? Oh, that's the humans, isn't it? Of course it is, you know. Can't keep anything tidy. I'm sorry. Going on now, aren't I? Going on and on and on. But, yeah. Just putting some little bits of cross-hatching in now. To, you know, so his head, you can see his face a little bit more, make it darker behind there. Using a finer pen now. All I've heard on telly recently is this Snow White film. My wife went to see it and she said it was great. But what is that? What is wrong with people? I don't know, I haven't seen it, but not my cup of tea, to be honest, but don't understand it. Why is everybody on a hate mission? It didn't even occur to me that, you know, she wasn't Snow White in the colour of her skin. It's like, good heavens above, what's the problem? Yeah. Anyway, Electric State, that was good on Netflix. That was excellent, that was. With a fella from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, my daughter would know. Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown's in it as well. I like her. She's a brilliant little actress. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, putting a thick black line around it now to make it really pop off the page. Give it some definition. Again, I learnt that from Bill Making Stuff. Lovely to see Bill Making Stuff doing drawing section in his videos. He does a little drawing section out, sketching. Sketches out some ideas before he does his build, you know. Brilliant. Love that. Yes, putting lots of little rivets. I'm going to colour. I wanted his face to look quite a warm, peachy colour, you know, as skin, so that it stands off the page kind of thing. Now just basically, because the suit is white, sticking in loads of shadows with blue. Now what I did think of later on was doing like a you know, blue for the shadows and then a yellow for as if the sun's just catching his suit and the spaceship. So I put a little bit of yellow in there and it really pops it off the page. So I bought myself one of those colour wheels because I'm always getting muddled up. I always muddle myself up with yellow and blue. Always put yellow and blue together, but it's not. It's purple and yellow, blue and orange. Yeah. Oh yeah. Always learning. Well, basically you've learnt it before but forgotten. So you're relearning it, trying to remember what you've forgotten. Does that make any sense whatsoever? Yeah, ooh, he's thinking. Ooh, what's he doing? Halfway through this, right, I've got some blue, and I need to put some more ink in it because the blue's getting a bit manky. It's you know, it's not working very well. Trying to get off these Temu pens. I'm still using them. They're very good. So don't be afraid to buy them, everybody. If you want some cheap alcohol markers, either Temu or AliExpress, they're not bad at all. They work really well. Anyway, I couldn't get the top off so that I can pour some ink in it, you know. Honestly, I had to go. Then I lost the lid. I was looking around for the lid, couldn't find the lid anywhere. Aye. I haven't been to the cinema in ages. Can't remember what. I think it was the Ghostbusters movie I went to see last. You know, the Frozen Kingdom or whatever it was called. It was alright. It was okay. I'm a bit disillusioned with cinema at the moment. It's all the same. It's just pumping out stuff. I don't know, for the sake of it. As for Disney, I don't know. Just a bit disillusioned with it. I used to love Disney films. Oh, there we go, Posca. No, it's black. What are you doing? Where's the... Oh, there we go. Putting some reflections of light in the windows on the cameras around, because that gold thing that's around, I think it's like it looks like a tin foil but gold, so I'm trying to make that stand out and shiny. And I put loads of cameras around the outside. I think there were cameras, but I don't know where they were. I can make them look, it looks funnier if you just see them hanging off. And a little flag. They have flags and everything. They didn't have a flag that stuck out the top like that, fluttering in the... No, there wasn't any wind up there, was there? Because it's a vacuum. Yeah. So yeah, putting some light sources on his helmet. On bits and pieces on his clothing. So I've got to scan the both drawings in a minute, and then I'm going to layer them on top of each other. Put this one on top of the other. Now I'm thinking of selling them. I'm still thinking about selling them on eBay, but let me know if you know what you think. If it's worth having a go. There you go. I've scanned it in now. Going to tweak all the colours and get rid of the background. Make it stand out and make it a little bit, what do they call it? Vivid, make it more vivid, the colours. Right, scanning in the background. The half moon. And I want to make the earth stand out a little bit more. It's a bit dark. So I cut it out. Well, I copied it. Paste. And tidied up the edges, and then made a circle around it, and painted just as a blue, a very light blue, and then just lowered the opacity. You'll see me drop it on top. There we go, and then lower it, and then rub out the back. Just gives it a bit of a shiny, fuzzy effect. And I wanted light coming out of the hole there, where the ships go in and land, And there you go. I've dropped it over the side. There's Seamus. Chigumo. Which is basically gumshoe spelled in a... is it Chigumo backwards? Oh no, it's muddled up somewhere. But yeah. I was trying to think what to get him to say. I did have an idea, going, I think somebody's occupied it already. Something like that, Because they're always looking at the moon as a base. We're going to make it into a military base or a scientific base, and then, yeah, of course it's got to be scientific. It's got to be military in it. It's never going to be scientific. Oh, dressed up as scientific. Big guns on it, though. Anyway, they're always talking about that, aren't they? So I did my own version. Little speech bubble now. Want to make the little spikes out the side and the jagged is not smooth, to give you the idea that he's on a radio, that kind of thing. When they said the moon might be hollow, and that was my punchline. So yeah, that's the final drawing. There we go. Here's the final results. Floating into shot. So there. Quite happy with that. I was pleased with that one. For my comeback drawing, I was really chuffed with that. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for watching. Leave a message if you like the drawing. Leave a like, just to let me know that I'm not, an absolute failure. And I hope to see you all next time. Oh, you could subscribe if you want to, but if you don't worry about it at all. It's not important. But yeah, I will see you next time. Ta-ra!